Did you know that you can make over $10,000 in a single year just by opening up bank accounts, putting money in it, and then the banks actually give you free money just for opening up the bank account? That's called bank account bonus. Churning, bank churning, has a lot of different names. In this video, I'm gonna bring on an expert. His name is Tedevan, also known as the credit card guru. He has a lot of credit cards and a lot of knowledge when it comes to opening up bank accounts to get the bank account bonuses. So you don't have to make $10,000 in a year. You could just make a few hundred and maybe even a quick $50 to $100 just from the knowledge in this video today. So I'm gonna bring on Tedevan. Tedevan, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, David.
Hey, what's up, Tedevan? So a quick introduction of Tedevan. So we actually met, I think almost 10 years ago in Cusco, Peru. We were just wandering the streets together. We became good friends in Peru and then randomly met again in the streets of New York City. And ever since, we've kept in touch and we've been sharing some credit card knowledge with each other, bank account knowledge, stock knowledge, all types of knowledge being shared. And I want to share this knowledge with you, my viewers. So Tedevan, you have a lot of experience with bank account bonuses. Why don't you give us a quick introduction? What is a bank account bonus?
Okay, so basically all the banks are competing for your money, and the more money they have, the more leverage they have to do their endeavors. So they put out what is called a customer acquisition cost. So they're going to throw out free money to entice you to bank with them. Now the thing is they just expect you to bank just with them. What I do is I bank with all of them. Now there's two major types of bank bonuses. You have what I would say there are bigger bank bonuses, which are the mainstream banks, your Chase, your Wells Fargo, your US Bank, Penn Fed had a nice bonus. Those are the big ones. Then you have the mini ones. And the mini ones are like SoFi, Chime, North One, things like that. And those are more dependent on referrals. There's free money up front. It doesn't demand as much capital. It's not as capital intensive. You don't have to keep the money in there for a certain amount of time, and you have referral links that you can then send to family and friends and really start to make some good extra cash for you, your family, and loved ones.
Cool. All right. So you said you've been doing bank account bonuses for a while. If you're comfortable, how much money have you made with bank account bonuses in like the last year or since you started?
Okay. So included in the bank account bonuses are also free stocks because that's just cash. You can sell it. I would say at this point, comfortably, I'm over 10,000. I really got into it very hardcore last year. I think like a lot of people out there, you've probably done one or two here and there, and then you've kind of just forgotten about it. But during these challenging economic times, now is certainly a time to up that game a bit.
That's amazing. So you've made over $10,000 just from opening up these accounts. And then, all right, so now let's dive in a little deeper. Let's say someone is interested in doing bank account bonuses and they want to get their feet wet, but they're a little curious. What are the risks with bank account bonuses?
So with the bigger banks, there's usually a mandatory, you got to keep your money in there for a certain amount of time and a certain amount of cash, right? So you want to avoid the monthly fee. So let's say, for instance, let's take Chase. I have a checking account with them. There's a monthly fee, but I keep over $1,500, so I'm good. I also got paid on the business account. I can stay over $1,500, so I'm good. I could close these accounts out at 6 months if I choose to or need to, depending on what I want to do. There are other accounts like a Santander or a Wells Fargo where you could actually close basically after the bonus kicks in. They have no way of kind of clawing back that money. So that's kind of that. With the small ones, you're talking no risk. You just basically open an account, you got a referral link, and you keep generating a little free cash here and there.
All right, so to recap, the biggest risk is that you may have a monthly fee. Potentially, they may claw back your money, but doesn't really happen too often. Have you ever had a clawback before?
No. As long as the account is open to a certain amount, they're not allowed to claw it back. That money is now yours.
Right.
There's like laws in place to protect that.
So you open up the bank account, you put the money in. There may be monthly fees. That's probably the biggest risk, or any cost of doing business, doing the bank account bonuses. And so then you get your bank account bonus, and you're saying that you could potentially close the account, and that's
Yes.
okay?
You can close the account. Each one has different rules. Now, the other thing we haven't mentioned yet that I really want to bring to your attention is the direct deposit. Now, a lot of people like myself don't, we work for ourselves, we don't have direct deposit. So if you go to the website, Doctor of Credit, he talks about how you want to do a push from a certain bank to trigger the direct deposit. And as you kind of get more into this, you have more accounts and you can trigger direct deposits easily because it will show up in the system as a direct deposit.
So in the game of bank account bonuses, you could get a bonus either two ways. One, you just deposit a certain amount of money in the account.
Yes.
The second way is if you have a direct deposit. Now, not everyone has a job that gives direct deposit, or they may be in between jobs. So you're saying if you don't have a job that gives you direct deposit, you could actually create your own direct deposit just from transferring money from certain bank accounts into this new account that you're opening. Is that correct?
So the ACH transfer, without overwhelming the viewer, I triggered my Wells Fargo with Venmo. I triggered my Chase with PenFed. And, it just kind of goes on. And each one has a different trigger that will kind of get you that free money.
So that's good. So at least you don't, if someone sees a bank account bonus and it says that there's a direct deposit, they could just go to the Doctor of Credit website, which I'll link to down in the description below, where it has all the bank account bonuses. And for example, like with Wells Fargo or Chase or any other account, if you have a bank account bonus you're going for and it needs a direct deposit, you could see a list of the other accounts or triggers that allow for the direct deposit criteria to be met. Therefore, you could get your bank account bonus, right?
Yeah, and they're updating that data. Sometimes something that once triggered it doesn't trigger it anymore. A lot of times people, to be extra safe, will throw two different banks at it to ensure the likelihood of the direct deposit. And for those of you who are lucky to actually have direct deposit, congratulations. You don't need to do these shenanigans.
Yeah. So, but I guess if you want to do multiple, it always helps. So, All right. So you said before that you made around $10,000 or more just by doing this.
Yeah.
Can you give us like a couple examples? Let's say someone just wants to get started today.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're not going to make $10,000 today.
No.
But what are some of the low-hanging fruit or easy wins in regards to getting a bank account bonus, and how much money can they look at getting?
That's really great. I think anybody coming out of the gate, if you have a little capital, can make a few hundred. Some of my favorite ones at the moment, SoFi Money, but one that's not quite well known, feel free to reach out to me, North One. $50 generates a $75 bonus. Now, there is a $10 monthly fee, but if you have a wife, some friends, whatever, you can easily, and you can shut that down when you choose to and just close it out for any reason. North One right now is the ROI on that one is the best. SoFi Money is really great. Chime, though, is a direct deposit, but is easily tricked by most banks. These are some, and I also, I know everyone's pushing Webull, but a few nice stocks here and there that you can flip for cash, that's nice as well. So those are some of the ones off the top, but there are always new ones coming out because it's a competitive game. They want our money, and so who's going to offer us the most back for it?
Right. So the banks are essentially bribing us for our business and hoping that we stick with this bank account forever, and we're not going to go around and open up dozens of bank accounts to get a lot more bonuses and spread out our money. Because whatever money we put in the bank account, essentially the banks are leveraging and lending out 10 times the amount, right?
Exactly.
So they're going to pay us however much money to have our money in the bank account, and then they could use that money for other things. Big question here that I'm sure a lot of viewers are wondering is, can you open up a bank account, get the bonus, close the bank account, and then open up the same bank account again and get the bonus again?
Yes, but for some of them, you might have to wait a year or two. So once again, Doctor of Credit kind of talks about, the rules for that. Recently, I went in and I got a Chase checking, which was a $200 bonus. Then I had the referral links, $50 a pop. I maxed it out to all my friends, threw on another 500, double dipped on the business for another 800. And just Chase alone gave me, do the math there, about $1,500.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, all right. So now let's get into the other part. So you mentioned that kind of with the mini banks that You get money up front. It could be like $75 with the Northwind account, and I learned that from you, so thanks for that. I got $75. But also, with the mini bank accounts, you actually make more money on the back end by referring to friends, family, or whoever signs up through that link, opens the account. You get money just for them signing up and depositing, or whatever the criteria is. Can you explain a little bit more about how the referral system works, how much money you've made from that, best practices?
So that has a lot of money, and honestly, the biggest challenge with it, and this is going to sound funny, is that people don't believe it's real. So the hardest challenge I have is that people are like, I don't think this is real.
Right, too good to be true. Yeah.
Too good to be true, and it's not. But the other challenge is sometimes if they've had some bad issues with a bank, some bad checks or things, they won't get approved. That does happen too. But as long as their relationships are reasonable with banks, it's not going to be an issue. And depending on how many accounts, it all depends. But people talk if you open up to 10 accounts a year or a little more, you start to trigger the check system. Not all of these trigger the check system. That's a much more advanced thing. Most of you people aren't going to have to think about that. But that is something, if you're going to get hardcore about the bank churning game, to be aware of.
Okay, so I guess the biggest obstacle is to tell someone, hey, you can actually get free money through this link if you sign up, open the account. I know exactly what you're going through. I go through the same exact thing. I go to my friends and family. I'm like, hey, if you want like a free $100, just sign up, open this account, put the money in, and they're like, okay, and they just don't really buy into it. Why do you think? What's the reason for that skepticism, you think?
That's really good. I think the first thing is that there's no such thing as a free lunch is a motto that a lot of people subscribe to. Yeah, and you're going to have to fill out a little form, but I had one friend recently that was hesitant, and I said, listen, you do this takes you 10 minutes, you're going to make $200. You average that out to the course of the year, that's $72,000. Are you making more than $72,000 this year? I don't think so, in this friend situation. So right. I highly suggest doing this. I think that's one part. And I think the second reason is, this is, a little psychology here, but there's a subconscious resistance to free money, which sounds crazy. People are like, no, I can't let that. No, I have to work really hard and break my back and skip sick days and not spend time with my family to earn this money.
Right.
It can't be easy. I can't let easy money into my life.
Right. Yeah, no, totally. I get it. I mean, personally, coming from the credit card background, for the viewers who don't know, I've opened up over 50 credit cards and got a bunch of miles and points through the years. I've used it for first class flights, business class flights, taken my family to Fiji, Australia, Hawaii, all over the world, mainly because of the free money you're essentially getting from credit cards and the banks essentially bribing us. So yeah, I'm on your page. I know all about the skepticism and why people don't understand it and don't want to do it. There's no such thing as a free lunch, no such thing as free money, but this is free money. And
it is.
I thank you so much for bringing this knowledge on. Is there anything else you wanted to mention in regards to the bank account bonuses?
I think it's also good to take advantage of the free stock bonuses. So, I have clients and I'm like, okay, now open this account to get free stocks. And the more capital you have, the more you can get. Now, I think most people are conditioned to maybe look for, they want to get 5% on their money if they're more conservative. But with the game that I'm doing, you're looking anywhere from 10 to 15% or more, guaranteed, no risk. And that's a really big deal. 10 to 15% guaranteed, no risk. But as the capital gets much, much bigger, it gets a little trickier to do that. But those people aren't necessarily striving to get bank bonuses.
Right. No, I think that's an excellent return on money, 10 to 15% compared to, stock market. On a really good year, you could get a 10% return, more or less, but to say that there's no risk, I think that's the beauty of it, because essentially you're just putting your money in a bank account. You have no risk of losing that money. The banks can't take your money away, which I think is probably the best part of bank account bonuses. So especially if you're sitting on a big amount of money, like you want to buy a house or a car or any other big purchase, rather than just letting it sit in a bank account, you could disperse it between a few different bank accounts and make that 10 to 15% return, as you were mentioning. So you mentioned stock referrals and you get free stocks. What is that all about? How does that work in a nutshell?
So for instance, I mentioned SoFi Money. SoFi Money also has SoFi Invest. Of course, you can only get one of those referrals when you sign someone up, but your friend, family, and in my case, client, can also then double dip and then get free stocks, $50 of free stock. Or they can open up a Schwab with 1,000 and get 100 on a referral. They can open up Webull on 100 and get 2 free stocks and then refer. So this just keeps adding up. Hundreds become thousands, thousands become tens of thousands, and it happens so quickly. The other thing I wanted to say is when you put your money in the bank account or checking account, which a lot of people do, and you're collecting your interest, basically with this, you're getting 10 to 15 years of interest in a matter of months in some cases, and in some cases, a week or less. To me, that's like, wow. That's like the whoa.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. Well, funny story. I actually started with bank account bonuses back in 2007. That's when the market was really good before the crash. And a ton of banks in my area were offering like $100 just for opening up a bank account. And then Wachovia Bank, they were actually offering $100 if you deposited $100 in the account. And for each person you referred, the referee got $100. So almost every other day, I was bringing a new friend to the bank. I was in college at the time, bringing a new friend to the bank, and the bank account manager is like, wow, where are you getting all these people from? I'm like, it's free money. And so then the bank account manager, I asked them, I'm like, what happens to the people who open up bank accounts but they don't have someone referring them? Is there any way that I could get those referrals? And since I brought him so much business, he said yes. So I was randomly getting $100 gift cards in the mail because I had this good relationship with him. And anyone who signed up without a referral, he just gave me the referral. So yeah, ever since then, I've loved the idea of bank account bonuses and free money. So in parting, is there anything else you wanted to mention about bank account bonuses? And then let us know how we could reach you, get in touch with you, learn more about you.
Yeah, for sure. I would say in closing, have a journal book, just an old-fashioned journal book or a spreadsheet if you're more that way, where you just kind of keep track of it all. I'm on Instagram, Nomad for Hire, just like Nomad, Forhire, one word, no spaces. And yeah, I do consulting for people, or I just kind of send them the links. I charge a very reasonable consulting fee, but if you just want the links and you're like, hey, send me all the free link money and I'll do it myself, I'm happy to do that as well. So that's basically it. It's just a great opportunity, and we have some tough times ahead economically, and I feel every free dollar that you can get for yourself and your family, and then you can refer them to these accounts, and then you can open up 2 of them and just keep tapping into that well.
Yeah, I agree. So much free money. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. For all the viewers out there, I'll have links to Ted Ivan's information if you want to get in touch with them, get all those free links. Also, I'll have more information about the bank account bonuses down below, other stuff if you want to get started. So, Ted Ivan, I just want to thank you so much again for coming on, sharing all this knowledge. And to all the viewers, if you want to learn more about bank account bonuses, I recommend clicking this video right over here. I go over the intro, I kind of go through the site Doctor of Credit, how to find the bank account bonuses, how to get started. So you could click this link right over here, and I'll see you in the next video. Have an amazing day. Ted Ivan, you're the best.